everyone, Mike from LE1 here. Welcome back to the channel. No, we are not going to continue with the My Team. We have some bit of news regarding F1. One that's actually kind of some rebranding names, while also at the same time, I briefly talked about this in my Team series, but I'm going to talk more about it here, as well as some breaking news that broke within the last several days. First off, I know I brought this up very briefly, that the Williams family have formally stepping away from F1 permanently, which is really sad because they've been a part of Formula One for nearly 4 decades, I believe. And honestly, truly is an end of an era. But I think the new guy who's in charge is going to make sure the Williams name stays on the car. But I'm pretty sure they're going to be watching. That's for sure. Next up, let's go to Haas. And apparently, with this one, both Romain Grosjean and Kevin Magnussen could both of them may be out of rides. Because there is speculation that Mick Schumacher, yes, that Mick Schumacher, Michael Schumacher's son, could be one of those drivers. And another one, we'll get to that in just a little bit. So, honestly, it's going to be curious to see where Haas goes. And don't forget, they are part of the Ferrari family. And they won the Ferrari Challenge back in Mazda last week. Next up, we got a couple of rebranding here. A bit of rebranding news here. Starting with Renault. Now, I brought this up in My Team as well. It was announced a few days ago that they are going to be rebranding to Alpine F1. And also, you guys were thinking they're going to keep the black and yellow. Well, you may as well say goodbye to that, because they're going to go for a new, different color scheme. And if it's anything, if it's sky blue and white, oh, honestly, I hope that's not the case. Although, please keep the stencils, please. And now let's talk about the news you guys want me to talk about. I know although again, big congratulations to Pierre Gasly and the entire AlphaTauri team. Let's talk about this. Yes, let's talk about Sergio Perez, or Chico. Late last night, it was announced, or early this morning in America, here in the US, Sergio posted on his social media that he will be leaving Racing Point. And honestly, this was a complete shock, because he's been on the team for 7 years, saved the team from going into from bankruptcy, or administration, if you will. But leaving Lance Stroll here, not much time to grow as a driver. And also, Sergio's name has also been brought up in the Haas deal. But, however, Racing Point, or will as of next season, will be known as Aston Martin F1, which, now to think of it, it's going to be kind of interesting. Are they going to be removing themselves from Red Bull? That's going to be relatively interesting. Now, go back to Racing Point / Aston Martin F1. Who do they get to replace Sergio Perez? Well, the answer? You got to steal one of Ferrari's top drivers in Sebastian Vettel. And honestly, this shouldn't come as no surprise, because honestly, between Sebastian Vettel and Charles Leclerc, both guys have not lived up to expectations so far this season. This has got to be one of the worst seasons that Ferrari's had in a very long time. And honestly, I'm curious to see who they get to replace Vettel with. And it was announced today that Vettel got it done. Apparently, he signed it last night, apparently. So, yeah, it's going to be curious to see where Ferrari goes. I know they have a race in Tuscany this weekend, which is for the first time ever, which I'm curious to see. Are they going to put all these new tracks in the game? which is going to be relatively interesting. Now, here's what's interesting. Although I'm glad that Vettel's going back. Also, going back to Perez for a second, there's also a slim possibility he may very well go to IndyCar next season, which could very well be interesting. Let's see where that goes. Although, here's something that's interesting. Lewis Hamilton hasn't committed to 2021. Boy, how big of a shock would that be if he announced he's going to NASCAR? Wait a minute. Oh my God. What if Lewis Hamilton takes the 48? Oh my God, you gotta think of the high ratings for that. Alright, that's it.